Have you ever wondered how the ancient Egyptians built the massive pyramids? It's a question that's puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries. Imagine this. You're standing in the hot Egyptian desert, your gaze fixed on the towering pyramid of Khufu, sometimes known as Cheops. This mammoth structure, the largest of the Egyptian pyramids, is composed of a staggering 2.3 million stone blocks. Each block, an impressive testament to human strength and ingenuity, weighs anywhere from 2.5 to 16 tons. Some of these blocks, particularly those used in the inner chambers, journeyed a whopping 500 miles from Aswan to Giza, the pyramid's home. Now, picture this. You're in ancient Egypt, and there's not a simple machine like a wheel in sight. Well, not for carts or chariots at least. Sure, the wheel was used for pottery making, but it wasn't until around 1500 BCE that it was used for transportation. Possibly because wheels and the thick sand blanketing the country didn't exactly get along. This lack of simple machinery only adds another layer of mystery to the enigma of the pyramid's construction. A puzzle that continues to baffle us in our understanding of ancient monumental complexes across the globe. There are numerous theories, of course, but just like a desert mirage, hard archaeological evidence to fully support any one of them remains elusive. So, how did they do it? How did a civilization, without the use of simple machines, manage to move 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing up to 16 tons, across vast distances? How did they construct these awe-inspiring structures that have stood the test of time? It's a riddle wrapped in a mystery, inside an enigma. In the next scene, we'll delve into one of the most intriguing theories, the Sleds and wet sand hypothesis. So buckle up, or, in the spirit of ancient Egypt, hold on to your camel. We're about to embark on a journey back in time, seeking answers to one of the greatest mysteries of human history. One theory suggests that the Egyptians used sleds and wet sand to move these colossal stones. The evidence supporting this theory can be found in the tomb of Jehuti-Hotep. Here, a painting depicts men pulling a massive statue on a sled. In the forefront, another individual pours water onto the sand. Now you might think, isn't that just a ceremonial gesture? Well, that's what everyone thought, until physicist Daniel Bohr came along. Bohr, a modern-day Sherlock Holmes of sand, discovered that the right amount of water, which is approximately 2 to 5% of the sand's volume, can increase the stiffness of the sand. But why does that matter? Well, it's all about friction, my friends. By increasing the sand's stiffness, the friction between the dragged object and the ground reduces dramatically. This makes the task of moving the object significantly easier, kind of like using a spoon to scoop ice cream that's been left out of the freezer for a few minutes, as opposed to trying to dig into it straight from the freezer. So, imagine the ancient Egyptians employing this technique. They poured just the right amount of water onto the sand in front of their hefty sleds laden with stone blocks. As the water seeps into the sand, it becomes stiffer, reducing the friction between the sleds and the ground. This makes it easier for the workers to drag the blocks across the desert and to the construction sites of the pyramids. It's a simple and elegant solution, really. It's like using a bit of dish soap to get a stubborn ring off your finger. The soap reduces the friction between the ring and your skin, making it easier to remove the ring. Similarly, the water reduced the friction between the sleds and the sand, making it easier to move the blocks. This theory provides a plausible explanation for moving the blocks, but how were they lifted into place once they reached the construction site? Well, that's another mystery altogether. But for now, let's give a round of applause to our ancient Egyptian friends for their innovative problem-solving skills. Who knew that a bit of water could make such a colossal task a tad bit easier? Another theory proposes that the ancient Egyptians used ramps to lift the blocks into place. This theory has its roots in a fascinating discovery at a quarry dating back to the construction of the Pyramid of Khufu. A ramp was found indicating that the builders had the means to pull hefty stone blocks up a steep slope. Now imagine the muscle power and teamwork needed for such a task. It's a real-life testament to the saying, where there's a will, there's a way. The possibilities of how these ramps were used open up a world of conjecture. Picture a ramp spiraling up the outside of the pyramid, much like a mountain road, winding its way to the top. It's a captivating image, isn't it? But here's a twist. The ramps could also have been straight and long, or even built within the very body of the pyramid itself. The ingenuity of these ancient builders never fails to amaze. The million-dollar question, or should we say, the 16-ton question, is how did they manage to move such a mammoth block up a ramp? Theories abound, ranging from the practical to the downright ingenious. One suggests the use of sleds, much like the ones we discussed earlier, but on an incline this time. Another theory puts forward the idea of wooden rollers, transforming the block into a primitive wheel of sorts. Yet another theory takes a more unconventional approach. Picture wooden posts tied to each side of a block, altering its shape from a square to a polygon. Now, this may seem like a minor change, but it would have allowed the block to be rolled up the ramp, much like a keg of beer at a Friday night party. But the mystery remains, how was a 16-ton block moved up a ramp? Theories range from sleds to wooden rollers to wooden posts tied to each side of a block. So, the next time you're facing a seemingly insurmountable task, remember the ancient Egyptians and their potential ramp system. If they could move a 16-ton block, surely we can tackle our modern-day challenges. Despite these theories, the exact methods used by the ancient Egyptians remain a mystery. The lack of hard archaeological evidence has left a cloud of uncertainty, fueling an enduring enigma that captivates us even today. The theories of sleds and wet sand, the intricacies of the ramp systems, and the sheer logistics of moving massive stone blocks are all pieces of this fascinating puzzle. Yet the truth, elusive as it is, continues to slip through our fingers. Many theories have been proposed and tested, but none have provided a definitive answer. The grandeur of the pyramids stands as a testament to an ancient civilization's architectural prowess, a civilization that accomplished feats we still struggle to comprehend. The ongoing research, the relentless investigations, the ever-evolving theories all point towards our relentless pursuit of knowledge, our quest to understand the seemingly impossible. The construction of the pyramids is a testament to the ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians. And while we may not have all the answers yet, the quest to unravel this ancient mystery continues.